execution and time management.
Okay, so you're only allowed one, so we talk about time management. So it's part of it. Anyway, so how many hours in a week? How many hours in a week? Never counted. You are business people? You are business people and you're telling me you don't count hours? You have budgets for money. Monthly budgets, quarterly budgets, yearly budgets. You look at numbers, finance, fine, no problem, very important, very good. No harm in that. But guess what? Time is even more important than money. Time is money. Time is life. Your life is measured by time. How many breaths you have? The Sufis say in every single day, you breathe 21,600 times. Every single day. With every breath, you become a new person. Again, new. Time is money. So if you have 168 hours a week, can anybody here tell me last week, between last week and today, where exactly your 168 hours went? Many of you could probably tell where the money went last week. Maybe, those who are very number-oriented, but not your time. So if Drucker said what gets measured gets improved. We don't measure time. Time doesn't improve. I have spoken to more than 1 million people live in 26 countries. I work with big organizations, medium, small, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, that most companies, including yours, waste 30% of their time. Now, I'm not saying you waste meaning that you are lazy or your employees are lazy, no. You waste time in duplication of effort. You waste time on miscommunication. You waste time on lack of clarity. You waste time on firefighting. You waste time on urgent matters, not important matters. I tell my clients, look, you won't get rid of all 30%, fine. But even if you get rid of 10%, how much is it going to be worth? Your time, 10% saved. Your colleagues, your vice VPs, how much is that worth? 168 hours. Even if you work 60 hours a week, which is the average for high executives, you're still left with 108 hours. You sleep 48 hours. You still got 60 hours left. You exercise 1 hour a day, 53 hours left. You read 1 hour a day, you still got 45 hours left. Where is the time going? We don't know. You see, there's a difference between linear time and variable time. Linear time is, I spend 12 hours at work. Big deal. You spend 12 hours, 14 hours, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, that's output. Output doesn't matter. Outcome matters. What did you do in the 12 hours? What did you accomplish? Sometimes you can spend 1 minute and achieve big things. What was in your company last year your Google idea? Last year, for 12 months, 365 days, 24 hours a day, what was your Google idea? What do I mean by that is, at one point, Microsoft was a huge company. Google, small, comparatively, at one time. Yet, Microsoft wanted to pay Yahoo, at one point, more than $30 billion to fight Google. See, why is Microsoft worried about Google? Why? Because Google had one idea called search. Now, you don't say I'm searching, you say I'm Googling. So Google became synonymous with search. And Microsoft couldn't fight Google. What was your Google idea last year? That you can say this idea was worth $1 billion. And how much time do you invest in your workplace to create new ideas? Sometimes the new ideas will come from the floor, not from the CEO. How much do you engage the person on the floor to create ideas? So, I believe very strongly that time is never a problem. In fact, time is a level playing field. Obama, Tendulkar, you, me, we all have 24 hours a day. We're in the same boat. Somebody may have more money. Somebody may have money. Even Tendulkar had more time, he still scored 94, he's out. So even if he had more time, he couldn't score more. So what is important is not time. It is focus. It is focus. Most people are not focused. And I know I had a discussion with a gentleman here about focus, so he may have an issue with it, but I think we sorted it out. But focus is the issue. Yeah? Focus is the issue. Are we focused? Less is more. less of important stuff is far more better than more unimportant. So, instead of having a to-do list, I recommend start doing an undoing list. Don't do to-do list. Start making an undoing list. What should I undo? I'm doing too many things. I will not have proper time management because I'm doing too many things. If you have too many priorities, guess what? If you have too many priorities, you have no priorities. If every day you've got 30 things to do, you've got no priorities. Does it make sense? You can have one priority. Maybe 2 priorities. Maybe 3 priorities, but not 20. If you got 20 priorities, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. So, time management, measure it. I'm an accountant. I used to be an accountant in my past life. I have 3 degrees in accounting. I was an ACCA from England, a chartered financial planner, a CPA. I gave up my career from accounting for business to accounting for life when I had a soul-starting experience, and maybe we can talk about it if you have time at the end. So I measure. I used to have a budget of my time. How many hours I want to work, how many hours I want to exercise, how many hours with my wife, how many hours with my son Tawfiq, how many hours with my daughter, and then I used to measure. For 2 years, I measured everything, and I was shocked where my time was going. And then I stopped. But then once a year, for 2 months, I would do it for 1 month, because once you get a hang, then you don't have to do it all the time, but you got to have some pulse of what's going on. So, measure time, increase valuable time. Increase valuable time. Think of a basketball player. You know basketball, right? You don't play too much basketball in India, but you know. NBA Finals, the World Cup of basketball, the most important 7th game. Winner takes it all. 1 second to go. 1 second to go, they are down 2 points. This fellow has a ball. If he can get a 3-pointer, they become champions. He becomes a superstar. He will never, ever, ever have to worry about money, because he will be the superstar of the superstars. But 1 second to go. Now the problem is the coach is shouting. The players are shouting. The crowd is shouting. This guy's got the ball. What does he do? Think about dinner at night? Steak and potatoes? Think about what his wife told him 5 years ago? Of course not. His body, his mind, his spirit will be there. So you get a 3-pointer and become the superstar. Imagine you're like that basketball player. 1 second to go. Your body, your mind, your spirit is there. The best customer you have. You want to make a deal. You're talking about deal flow. You make a deal. You got a deal in front of you. But you're like this basketball player. 1 second to go. This is it, man. The clock stops. The clock stops. You mesmerize your client because he can feel your energy. He can feel you like a magnet. Now, I must warn you. When you go home, don't become like that to your spouse, because she'll faint. Say, what, you have drugs or what? Because normally you're not present. Yeah? So, increasing time by increasing valuable time. Chronos and kairos. Chronos is linear time. Kairos is valuable time. Know exactly what's the most important thing the next morning. You start your day with the ground running. Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab was a financial successful business guru, but he said one time in the early 80s or 90s, he went to a consultant. He said, I can't manage my time. And the consultant said, look, let me meet your executives and see what I can do. So he said, how much will it cost me? He says, nothing. He said, sure, nothing? But if you like it, then you can pay me, the consultant says. So Schwab is a businessman. Yeah, but how much do I pay you if you like it? He said, you decide. Now Schwab is happy. If I don't like it, I don't pay you. If I like it, I decide how much to pay you. I can't go wrong. So he guy came in, met with the executives, and told the executives that every single day, before you go to sleep or before you leave work, write 6 things for next day. 6 things. Okay, I prescribe 3 things, but he prescribes 6 things. Write 6 things that you want to do next day and prioritize them. When you wake up in the morning, start with number 1. And do not stop until you completely finish number 1. Okay? Then when you completely finish number 1, you regroup, go number 2. That's the only advice I give them. Okay? But maybe a couple of hours is spent. So Schwab tried this advice. After some time, not too long, too much later, he came and wrote a check for this consultant for $25,000 US. Said that was the single best advice I got. And that's what made me a multimillionaire. Now, if you're a doctor, you can't say, this is my number one, you can die. Yeah? You may not be able to apply this idea to the nth degree, but you can apply this idea to some degree. I recommend 3 things, not even 6. And I recommend when you finish number 1, don't stop. Go back to number 1 and put 10% more. Your most important thing, you finish completely, don't jump to number 2. I spend 10% more on number 1. Lick it, make it so good that when you finish it, you get so much energy. Then you go to number 2. Less is more.